Hey there, my name is David and welcome back to the Restyle File, where we talk all things reselling. I am a part-time reseller on various platforms such as Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, and eBay. And today I have a What Sold video where I'm going to be going over my sales from the prior week. And I'm happy to say that things are really starting to pick up on Poshmark and eBay. If you're interested in reselling content, want to know what's currently selling, for how much items are selling, what you should be picking up when you're sourcing, then make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon, that way you're notified every time I upload a video every week. I would also greatly appreciate it if you could comment and like this video, and share with anyone else that you think may be interested in reselling content. Let's start our review of my week on Sunday, February 5th. I had 3 Poshmark sales, 2 of which were bundles, and 1 eBay sale. The first sale on Poshmark was a pleasure-bound goth punk Halloween studded bra size 34C. It sold for $15. After Poshmark's fees, I received $12. I paid about $3 for this item, so my profit on that item was $9. I picked this up just because it was around Halloween time when I purchased it and I thought it would be a quick flip. Turns out it kind of wasn't, and this was unfortunately one of those times where I really didn't think much about researching the item prior to buying it, and when I looked it up, these sell for like $25 brand new, so it really doesn't have a lot of resale value. So eventually I just needed to find a way to get rid of it. And when someone sent me an offer for $15, I was like, hey, you got it. So I'm glad to be moving that item out. Now the next items were sold in a bundle on Poshmark, and it was one bundle of Athleta Trekkie North Printed Yoga Athleisure Pants size 18. And that bundle also included a handmade silk linen witch core short sleeve jacket dress. I would say the name of this brand, but it is basically all consonants, so I have no idea how to say it. It's CHRZASZCZ Incorporated. And it was apparently a brand that was, or a store that was in Canada, and that is no longer open for business. But it was a really interesting looking piece. It looked kind of like a witch costume almost, but it was made of linen and silk. It reminded me a lot of, I said in the listing, what if Eileen Fisher were a witch? Then you would have this item right here. So that bundle sold together for $75. And after Poshmark's fees, I received $52.33. I do believe I included free shipping with that. So I paid about $14 for both of these items. I believe I picked them both up at Goodwill, so my total profit was $38.33. The next bundle to sell on Poshmark was a Madewell 10-inch high-rise road tripper super soft blue jeans in Playford wash size 27. It sold with 2 other items, including a Lululemon Running Yoga Metal Vent Tech short sleeve t-shirt in green size medium, and a Lululemon Sunset Savasana pullover in wine berry size extra small/small. So this bundle sold for $70. After Poshmark's fees, I received $56. I paid about $15 for these 3 items, so my total profit was $41. I don't know what it is this week, but I actually had a fair amount of bundles, which I'm not complaining. I feel like it's been forever since I've sold a bundle. The other sale that I had that day was on eBay. So I sold a Madewell, the twin pouch crossbody shoulder long strap black leather bag. It sold for $35. eBay fees are a little bit difficult to sort of forecast, so I like to just assume about 20% will be taken. So if eBay were to take 20% from my sale, that would mean I would be left with $28. I paid about $8 for this bag at Goodwill, so my total profit is $20. The next day we'll talk about is Monday the 6th. I had 2 Poshmark sales. The first sale was a J. Crew navy blazer sheath dress in navy blue size 4, new with tags. It sold for $60. After Poshmark's fees, I received about $48. And I paid $15 for this in the boutique section of a Goodwill, so my total profit was $33. J. Crew dresses can be a little bit hit and miss for me. Sometimes they sell very well very quickly, and sometimes they linger for the bit. Although I'd say this one probably lingered for a bit as well, just because it's more of a sort of spring summer dress, and now we're about to enter that season very soon. The main reason that I picked it up was just because it was a very recent style, and it was new with tags. The next item to sell on Poshmark was a Hugo Boss double layer look graphic tee size medium. It sold for $30. After Poshmark's fees, I received $24, and I paid about $6 for this shirt at Goodwill. So my total profit was $18. I actually bought this shirt for myself initially, but I never wore it, so I listed it and it eventually sold. The next day we'll talk about is Tuesday the 7th. I had one Poshmark sale and one Mercari sale. So the item that sold on Poshmark was a Billy Reed heirloom steel sand cross grain 3-button suit jacket size 42 regular. It sold for $80. And after Poshmark's fees, I received about $64, and I actually paid about $4 for this item on a half off day at the Salvation Army. So my total profit is $60. And let me tell you a little bit about this item, just because I see Billy Reed from time to time, and I kind of never really think anything of it. But for some reason, I was inclined to look at the sell-through rate for a Billy Reed blazer on this day at the Salvation Army thrift store, and I saw that it was very high. It was over 100%. And usually, even then, I'm still a little sort of skeptical just because I feel like, oh, it's a 3-button blazer. It seems like it really wouldn't be a current style. But then I figured the cost to try it out is low enough that I'm willing to give it a shot. And also the fact that it has such a high sell-through rate. And it paid off because I listed that and it sold in just a matter of a couple of days. It sold in less than a week, probably about 3 or 4 days. So I'm a believer now. And that's because this item also had a flaw. It had some tearing on the interior lining. Nothing on the exterior. The exterior was in great condition, but even then it still sold and for a very good price. So consider me converted. The next sale we're going to talk about is on Mercari. So it was a Polo Ralph Lauren minimalist blue thermal waffle knit maxi dress in size large. It sold for $53. Since I offer free shipping on Mercari after Mercari's fees and the cost to ship the item, I have about $35.66. I paid $7 for this item at the Salvation Army half off day sale. It's actually from one of my prior haul videos. So my total profit is $28.66. I knew when I saw this dress that it would be a slam dunk. It sold in a pretty decent time frame, so I'm pleased with the sale. The next day we're talking about is Wednesday the 8th of February. I had one Poshmark sale and 2 eBay sales. So on Poshmark, I sold a home good item. It is a Opal House Heart macrame crochet wall hanging. It sold for $25. After Poshmark's fees, I received $20, and I paid about $3 for this item, so my total profit was $17. I really just picked this item up as an impulse, just because these wall hangings give a lot of sort of southwestern, rustic, artisan vibes, and it was very cheap, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And Opal House is a label that's carried by Target, so it's very accessible, but I know that this was not something that you could buy currently. But perhaps they bought it in anticipation of Valentine's Day, which is just around the corner as well. But I had that item probably for a month or so. The next sales we're talking about are on eBay. So on eBay, I sold a Theory Black Chambers Slim Fit Stretch Wool Suit Office Jacket size 40 regular, new with tags. It sold for $100. If eBay were to take 20%, then I would be left with $80, and I paid about $6 for this on a half off day at Salvation Army. So my total profit is $74. This item definitely did sit for a bit, but I knew since it was new with tags and since it's a good label and it's a good sort of style, that it would be worth the investment to sort of wait on it a bit. And I was also very fortunate that I was able to find a model picture online. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult with things like men's blazers with certain labels that specialize in those and sell millions of them. The next item to sell was BCBG Max Azria. Oh, I'll never learn how to say that name. Blue genuine leather crop moto asymmetrical jacket size medium. It sold for $25. If eBay were to take 20% from my sale, then I would be left with $20. I paid about $5 for this since it was a half off sale at the Texas thrift store. So my total profit was $15. It's not necessarily as high a profit as I would like to see on an item like a leather jacket, but this brand, it just, I don't know. I'm not comfortable selling it. So I was much more into the idea of doing a quick flip on it since I just recently stocked this item than to possibly sit around on it and then wait until next year. So it worked for me. If you like selling this label, then let me know below, but I don't really have a lot of experience with it, and I worry sometimes about certain mall brands that they might linger forever in my closet. Next is Thursday, the 9th. I had 2 Poshmark sales and 1 eBay sale. So the first Poshmark sale was Levi's Made and Crafted 501 Original Straight Leg Jeans size 31 by 32. They sold for $54. After Poshmark's fees, I received $41.48. The reason it's kind of an odd amount is because the Google Chrome extension FLYP, FLYP, noticed that this customer liked my item and sent them an offer with reduced shipping, so it was very useful for making that sale. I paid about $8 for this item, so my total profit is $33.48. Which is a pretty decent profit considering that it's just Levi's. But this is Levi's Made and Crafted, which is a sort of specialty premium line of theirs. If you see this line in your thrift store, then it's definitely worth researching to see if it might be worth picking up, since it can command a higher dollar point versus regular Levi's. The next sale I was very excited about. It was an outer known blanket shirt plaid in gray light squares size medium. It sold for $85. After Poshmark's fees, I received $68, and I paid about $12 for this item at the Salvation Army on a regular day. So my total profit was $56. So as I stated, I did pay $12 for this at a Salvation Army on a regular day, but just because I checked the sell-through rate on this label, and it is very, very good. It was over 100%. And apparently Outer Known is most well known for their blanket shirts, which is just they're sort of a thicker cotton flannel plaid shirts. And it was in excellent condition, so I knew that I would give it a shot. And it actually sold in a matter of less than a week. So definitely worth picking up if you ever see it. It also had a lot of interest. I had a couple of buyers messaging me about it on eBay, but thankfully someone put a great offer on Poshmark and I was willing to accept it. The next sale was on eBay, and it was the Frankie Shop Tina padded shoulder minimalist dress in mocha size small. It sold for $35. If eBay were to take 20% for my sale, then that would leave me with about $28. I paid about $5 for this dress, so my total profit was $23. I believe the Frankie Shop is sort of like an Instagram label, or I've seen a lot of Instagram people mentioning it, but I've never seen it in a thrift store before, so when I saw it this time, I thought, oh, let me go ahead and give it a shot. I definitely had that for a while. It wasn't in great condition. It did have a couple of marks on it, which of course I fully disclosed in the listing, but it did eventually sell, and with this price, I'm satisfied. On to Friday the 10th. I had 3 Poshmark sales, including 1 bundle. So, a lot of bundles this week. On Poshmark, my first sale was a Madewell blue-white denim cutoff short size 28. It sold for $18. After Poshmark's fees, I received $12.68, so that was a flip sale. And I paid about $2 for these shorts, so my profit on those was $10.68. I had those forever, probably because I purchased them just before winter hit, but they're on their way out. Happy to see it. The next sale I'm going to talk about is the bundle sale. So this was 4 items, and I had noticed that the buyer had commented on one of the items saying I'm very interested and that she had a bunch of items that she had liked from my closet. So I initially sent her an offer for what she already had bundled, and then she asked if she could switch some of the items that were in the bundle and asked for a lower price as well, and I said, yeah, we can definitely make that work. So the 4 items were a Vince Camuto white shirt with pleated back detail, a Zara basic navy lace kimono coat, a Louis Vuitton uniform ribbed cropped jacket size medium, and a COS black jersey cotton cocoon midi dress size medium. The entire bundle sold all together for $220, and I also allowed free shipping for the customer. So after Poshmark's fees, I received $168.33. I paid about $42 for all of these items, the most expensive of which was definitely the Louis Vuitton uniform jacket. So it's not true Louis Vuitton, it is Louis Vuitton uniform, which is actually clothing that the Louis Vuitton label creates, but specifically in order to provide to their employees inside of their shops. And from what I've seen online, they actually do seem to sell pretty decently, because sometimes you'll find them in stores because those employees don't work for that company anymore and they just donated their things. And sometimes they can still sell for a pretty decent amount. I actually found 2 of these jackets at a Goodwill, so I bought both of them, and I still currently have another one in a size medium, but I paid $30 each for them since they were both in the boutique section. So that's where the majority of the cost for the cost of goods on that bundle was, but I made a profit of $126.33. Ecstatic about that. And the last sale that day on Poshmark was a Madewell the Canvas large transport tote in gray leopard print. It sold for $33. After Poshmark's fees, I received $26.40. And I paid about $8 for this bag at Goodwill, so my total profit was $18.40. I don't know about y'all, but something that I really struggle with is I always confuse leopard and cheetah print. And whenever I'm trying to make a listing and trying to list it, I always have to like Google what's the difference between leopard and cheetah print again, because for the life of me I can't keep it memorized. I always forget. The last day of sales that we're going to talk about is Saturday the 11th. I had 2 Poshmark sales and 1 eBay sale. So on Poshmark, I sold a pair of Nasty Pig skinny slim blue jeans size 32. They sold for $45. After Poshmark's fees, I received $34.28. I paid $7 for these at a charity resale shop. So my total profit was $27.28. This was my first time trying to sell something from this particular kind of label. This label is actually a sort of fetish label, and they make very, very, very tight clothing to leave very little to the imagination. But when I looked this up online, these jeans are like $119 new. So I figured at $7, I'd be willing to invest and see if it's worth picking up in the future. And these actually sold very quickly. They don't have a lot of them on eBay, so it sold in a matter of a couple of days, and I actually still have another pair that I haven't listed just yet, so I'll be getting on that one very quickly too. Apparently, Nasty Pig is a bolo. The next item to sell on Poshmark was the Pyramid Collection Blue Velvet Gold Brocade Renaissance Vest size 3X. It sold for $45. After Poshmark's fees, I received $36. I paid about $8 for this at a Goodwill, so my total profit was $28. This was definitely a style pickup. I've heard that sort of Renaissance festival type wear can do well, especially since it's in a larger size. And it took a couple of months to sell, but it sold for a decent profit, so might be something to look out for. And the last sale is on eBay. It was a vintage floral Harajuku Lolita cottagecore Peter Pan collar baby doll dress size L. All the adjectives. It sold for $40. If eBay were to take 20%, I would be left with $32. I paid $4 for this at a half off sale at Texas Thrift Store, so my total profit is $28. This was definitely a style pickup. This brand doesn't appear to have any kind of online presence, but there's nothing more validating than when you pick up something as a style pickup and it sells in a relatively short time frame. I feel validated. Yes. So now we're going to move on to our totals. So Poshmark, my total revenue was $855. After Poshmark's fees, I received $663.50. The cost of goods for all the items I sold on Poshmark is $147, so my total profit is $516.50. The next platform I'm going to summarize is eBay. So on eBay, my total revenue was $235. Assuming that eBay were to take 20% from my sales along with any other sort of fees, I would be left with $188. The total cost of goods for all items sold on eBay was $28, so my total profit would be $160. As for Mercari, I just had one single sale, so if you wish to know what the exact breakdown of that is, you may rewind on the video to try to find it. And Depop did not have a showing this week. I did have a couple of offers, but you know the usual thing with Depop where someone sends you an offer and you try to accept it as quickly as possible, and then just crickets. Nothing happens. I hate that system so much. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why they can't just make it to where, like Poshmark. Poshmark just has it perfectly, where you make an offer, it's binding, you pay if it's accepted, or even if it does that dumb thing where it says insufficient funds or whatever, it at least sends them a notification, versus this consistent limbo with Depop where it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth of people sending me the same offer. I digress. Anyway, so let's talk grand total. So looking at all sales made on all platforms, my total revenue was $1,143. After the miscellaneous fees and cost of shipping for some of those items, I am left with $887.16. My total cost of goods is $182 for all the items that were sold this week, so my total profit is $705.16. I am very happy to see that it is continuing to increase. Last week we finally came back up above 500 and now we are in the 700s. Let's see if we can keep this trend going. Did you have any great sales this week? I'd love to hear about it below. I really appreciate you taking the time to look at my video because at this point I have finally reached over 100 subscribers, which in the grand sort of stratosphere of YouTube probably sounds like a drop in a bucket. A drop in a bucket with a giant hole at the bottom. But for me, it's a big deal. I initially just started this with nothing, thinking nobody was going to listen and that I would have to do like 4,000 videos before I would get a like or a view. But it's slowly building up, and I really appreciate everyone who subscribed, anyone who takes the time to look at my video, anyone who takes the time to comment. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic sales week, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then. We are not doing any SpawnCon. Not yet, anyway. Not that I know of. Maybe in another few years or so, but I am running on fumes. These energy drinks really do the trick for me. Red Bull, coffee, I love them, but for some reason they don't really do anything. But this stuff, it gives me like legit hummingbird heartbeat. So, cheers. Woo. Oh, and my shirt. It is the icon Frida Kahlo. See ya.